बुद्धि प्रकाशम मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Dear devotees, we'll have a few minutes of Nam Sankirtan, and after that we'll begin today's topic. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
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 Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
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 Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
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 Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
बोलो राधा रानी की. Today I'm going to speak to you about 3 questions that Sanatan Goswami asked his Guruji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. Through understanding these, we can have a very good review of the basic philosophy that will help us get the most out of this camp. He asked, first of all, Ke ami? Who am I? Ke ne amaya jare tapatraya. Number 2, why am I burning in the tritap, the 3 types of material sufferings? And ke mane hit hoy. How can I attain my ultimate aim? The first question, ke ami? Who am I? The simple answer is Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishnera Nityadas. We are all the eternal servants of Shri Krishna. But to understand why this is so, let us consider, who am I? First of all, think about it logically, without any research from the scriptures, without any help from the scriptures or divine personalities, what could a person figure out on their own, using their own logic? Who am I? What am I? So about the most we could come up with, probably by observing the world, is that there's something that happens when someone dies. It's like they're no longer there. Their body is still there, but they're not there. Their mouth is there, but they're not talking. Their ears are there, but they're not listening. Their brain is there, but they're not doing anything. So where did they go? That's about the most we can understand, is that there's something that's there when we're alive, and when the body is dead, then that thing has gone. And that thing, we say that's ourself. So when we die, it means we leave our body. And what leaves the body and goes on, that is me. That is the true self. That's about the most, if someone were very observant, that they could come up with. That we're not the body, because The body doesn't last. And there was something giving life to the body. And now that the body is dead, that something that was giving life must have gone somewhere else. It must have left the body. So that thing that left the body, that was giving life to the body, and now it left and it's gone somewhere else, that is the true self. But the scriptures say, no, that's not correct either. Now we have to take the help of the scriptures. Sayada sma chariradut Kaushitaki Upanishad. No. The thing that leaves the body is more than just your true self. Because you have 3 bodies. And none of the 3 bodies is the real you. Jagadguru Shree Kripaluji Maharaj says, जो मेरा है वो मैं नहीं है. सीधी सी बात है. मेरा शरीर, तो ये शरीर मैं नहीं है. What is mine cannot be considered me. What belongs to me cannot be considered me. So wherever there's a possessive, that thing can't be mine. Just like my body. Okay, so that means I'm not the body. I reside in the body. And I leave the body. Okay, we already established that. But what Ved is saying is, there's something else going with the real you that is not you. It's also yours. So what body you leave, that is called your sthul sharir. That is the physical body. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur Mritam janma, dhruvam janma, mritasya cha. Gita says this physical body, sthul sharir, it was born so it will die. It's temporary. But there's something permanent that goes with you that is not you. That is also a body. That is called sukshma sharir, the subtle body. Now the subtle body is made of 18 things. You don't have to memorize it, just understand the concept. 18 things. So we have 5 senses of perception, what we call jnanendriya. Not the physical part of the body that it lives in, like your sense of sight. That's your subtle sense of sight. So I'm not talking about the eyes. The eyes don't go with you when you leave the body, but your subtle sense of sight does. See, even when you fall asleep and you're dreaming, then your physical body is not a part of your activities, right? But in your dream, you can still see. That's the subtle sense of sight. That's part of your subtle body. So when you experience dreams, it's through your subtle body, the sukshma sharir. The sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of touch, these 5 subtle senses that you use in your dream, they're the ones also functioning through the physical body when you're awake. But when you leave the physical body, you don't take the physical organs with you, but you do take the senses in a subtle way. So those are the 5 senses of perception. Pancha jnanendriya. We have to get up to 18, right? So far that's 5. And we have 5 senses of action. Pancha karmendriya. Like the ability to grasp and manipulate, hit, hug. That's in the that's established in the hands. That's one karmendriya. The ability for locomotion, to move around, that's established in the feet. The ability to communicate is established in the voice. the ability to eliminate waste, and the ability to reproduce. These are the 5 senses of action, and these are also subtle senses which are established in a particular part of the physical body. But when we leave the physical body, these subtle senses of action go with us. That's why no matter what species you look at, the most they have is these 10 senses. Some, because of not having the brain, the actual brain is not developed in such a way that allows a particular sense to be expressed or function. But nobody, just like a tree, can't see, right? But that soul living in the tree has a sense of sight. Just that body doesn't allow them to see. But the sense of sight is there. So whatever species you're born into, you go with these 10 senses. So some may be active, some may not be active. So you have 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action. Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya. Now, we're up to 10. Now there's Pancha Pran, 5 pran, 5 energies, 5 life energies that circulate through different circuits of your body. Those 5 are also part of the subtle body. So we're up to 15. 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action, and 5 pran. So only 3 left. Man, buddhi, ahankar. 3 aspects of the mind. Man is the emotional aspect of the mind. Buddhi is the intellectual aspect of the mind. And ahankar is the very deep sense of our own being, that I am. In this case, the ahankar doesn't mean like pride, but more just a sense of one's own existence. That's ahankar. So these 3 aspects of the mind, plus the other 15, that makes up the subtle body, the sukshma sharir, and all of that goes with the soul when you leave this body, and none of it is you, because it's all mayic. Just like this physical body is mayic, the subtle body is also mayic, just more subtle. So it can't be you. And the other proof of this is 2 situations. One, when you go into deep sleep, when you're not dreaming, then even your subtle body is inactive. You can say it's just out, just like your physical body goes out when you fall asleep, but the subtle body is still active as long as you're dreaming. Then when you go into sushupti avastha, deep dreamless sleep, then even your subtle body is out cold, no activity. Then what's left? Just you? No, there's one more body that is not you. It's your body. It's called karna sharir. So either in deep sleep or in pralay. In pralay, what happens? The whole mayic world is dissolved into God. Then obviously no physical body will remain. The whole physical world has been disappeared. It's vanished into God, dissolved into God. So our sthul sharir, physical body, is gone in pralay. Our sukshma sharir is also gone. It's dissolved into the mayic energy. So just you remain? No, there's one more body. The karana sharir, the causal body. What is that made of? All of your past karma, your desires, your attachments, your sanskars, all of that extremely subtle, more subtle than the subtle body, that's still with you even in deep dreamless sleep. It's still with you even in Mahapralay. That's how when Bhagwan again does Srishti, Surya Chandrama Saudhata Yatha Purvama Kalpayat, Rigved says, after Pralay, again God does Srishti. He manifests the universe. And at that time, He again sends us out to have a birth. So what is the basis of our birth we're given? What is the basis of our personality when we're born? Are we born with a clean slate in the new Srishti? No, no clean slate. You still had your Karan Sharir. All your personality is preserved in there. All your sanskars, the subtle impressions made by every thought you've ever had. All your past karma, all your desires, all your attachments. All of that was preserved in your Karan Sharir. So now that's going to manifest into your subtle body in the form of your mind. So you are preserved in the same way you were before the pralaya happened. Just your body will change, but your personality is exactly the same. So we see we have three bodies. The physical body is not me. That's easy to understand because we leave it and we go on, take another birth. The Sukshma Sharir is not me, the mental body, the subtle body made of the mind and subtle senses, that's not me. I'm deeper than that. That's a Mayic thing. And the most subtle of the three bodies, the Karan Sharir, that is also not me. Because when you get moksha, if somebody surrenders to God and with God's grace, Yada pashyate rukma varnam kartaramisham purusham brahmayonim tada vidvan punya pape vidhuya niranjana paramam samyamupayiti. Mundakopanishad. Bhidyate hridayagrantish chidyante sarvasanshraya Chiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. Mundakopanishad. The moment a soul fully surrenders to God, all of their past karma is deleted. So it means your Karan Sharir is also gone if you get liberation from Maya by surrendering to God. Of course, that's not our goal. We'll get to that further ahead. Just liberation is not the goal. But when you are liberated from Maya, if a soul ever surrenders to God, with God's grace, their Mayic bondage is eliminated and their bondage of karma is eliminated. That means their Karan Sharir is also finished. Then what's left? Just what we call Jivatma. So what is Jivatma? Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. Mahaprabhu ji says that what is the soul? Oh, soul is the eternal servant of Shri Krishna. Why? Oh, because we are his ansh. Chinmatram Shri Hareransham Sukshmam Aksharam Avyayam Krishnadhinamiti Prahur Jivam Jnana Gunashrayam. The soul, this is from Ved, the soul, that divine spark, that divine entity which has the three bodies but is not any of those three bodies. It's apart from them. It's beyond them. That is the true self, and that is a part of Shri Krishna, ansh of Shri Krishna. So now we're getting some scriptural definition of the soul. What is the soul? Ke ami? Who am I? What am I? Well, you are Jivatma. You are a soul, and Jivatma is Ansh of Paramatma, Shri Krishna. The soul is a part of Supreme God. So what does it mean to be a part of Shri Krishna? Like Shri Krishna is a big stone, and we chip off a bunch of pieces of that stone. Each part is Ansh of the original stone. No, it doesn't work like that. God cannot be broken into pieces. Purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. Brihadaranyaka says God is always whole. You can't make Krishna into 1 million. I'm 1/1,000,000th of a fraction of Shri Krishna. I'm his Ansh. It can't be like that. Then how are we Ansh of Bhagwan? We are Ansh of Bhagwan. Well, let us hear from Jiva Goswami, another disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji. He says, Tatasthatvancha ubhayakotava praveshat. Shat Sandarbh. He says, okay, soul is Ansh of Shri Krishna, but you have to understand in what way. He says soul is neither here nor there. Soul is tatast, in the middle, between this and that. So what is this and that? Mahaprabhuji says, Krishner ananta shakti tate tin pradhan chit shakti Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti Naam, Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha, Kahi Jare, Antaranga, Swarupa Shakti, Savar Upare. Shri Krishna has infinite powers, but out of those 3 are main. Swarup Shakti, his internal power. Maya Shakti, his external power. And Jiva Shakti, his Tatastha Shakti, that means in between. So Mahaprabhuji is also saying, Swarup Shakti, Shri Krishna's supreme internal power, is one. Maya Shakti is his lifeless energy. It's a lifeless material energy, but it belongs to Shri Krishna. And when he activates it, the whole universe is produced. That is called external power, not because it resides outside or independent of Shri Krishna, but because it is opposite than him in nature. Shri Krishna is alive, Maya is insentient, lifeless. Shri Krishna is stable. His divine abode, which is the expansion of his own self, doesn't have a srishti and pralay. It's just always there. And the Mayic world, everything is impermanent. The universe itself is impermanent. It's created and destroyed. And everything in the universe, from our body to a house, to a clay pot, to anything, to a mountain, everything is brought into being some way or another, and it also has a time when it will end. So the Mayic energy is total opposite of Shri Krishna, but it's still his energy. So it is called his external power because it has opposite qualities that he has, but it's still his power. That's Maya. Then Swarup Shakti, that is his Satchit Anand power. He is all-knowing. He's perfectly, eternally existing. He's all blissful. This is Swarup Shakti. That's his internal power. So Jiva Goswami said, Tatasthatvancha ubhayakotava praveshat. this Jeev doesn't belong in either of those categories. If Jeev belonged to Swarup Shakti, then we would also be God. We would be all-knowing, omnipresent, all blissful, all powerful, but we are none of those things. A person may make a goal that I want to accomplish this in my life, and they strive for their whole life and still fail. Whereas God is Satya Kamaha, Satya Sankalpaha, Chandogyopanishad. Whatever he thinks happens instantly. He has that much power. He creates this whole universe just with a thought. So kamayat bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapyat satapastaptva idagvam sarvamasrijat Taittiriya Upanishad. He just thinks and the whole world comes into being. So how can we compare ourselves to God? Therefore, obviously we're not a part of Swarup Shakti. Other forms of Shri Krishna, his avatars, his swanch, his direct personal forms like Vishnu, Shankar, etc., they are his ansh of Swarup Shakti, not souls. And souls can't be said to be ansh of Maya. This body is ansh of Maya. Our Sukshma Sharir is ansh of Maya, our subtle body, but the soul is not a part of Maya. Otherwise, how could it be alive and how could it give life to the body? Jeev means the one which is itself alive and which gives life to that which it inhabits. This body is not alive, it just functions like a living thing because of the presence of the soul. So it means the soul cannot be said to be a part of Maya, nor can it be said to be a part of God directly, not a part of his Swarup Shakti, nor a part of Maya Shakti. So it is in between. Tatasthatvancha. It is right in between. Just like you're standing on the bank of the river. You're looking at the river, but you're not going in the river. And behind you, the jungle is there. You're not going in the jungle either. You're in between the two. You're on the tat. You're on the river bank, which is neither in the river nor in the jungle. If you're in the jungle, then it's not the river bank. And if you're in the river, you're not on the bank. You're on the bank. That's where Jeev is. Between Swarup Shakti and Maya Shakti. So we're learning our identity. Remember, Ke Ami. Who am I? What am I? I am ansh of Shri Krishna's Jeev Shakti. Jeev Shakti Vishishtasyaiva Tava Jeevonshah Natu Shuddhasya. Another statement from Shat Sandarbh of Jeev Goswami. He says, okay, now I can tell you specifically. The soul is a part of Shri Krishna's Jeev Shakti, the three powers. Remember, Swarup Shakti, Jeev Shakti, Maya Shakti. We're not ansh of Maya Shakti, we're not ansh of Swarup Shakti. So we're ansh of Jeev Shakti. We're a part of Shri Krishna's Jeev Shakti. We're an infinitesimal part. All of us. So every individual soul is a minute, infinitesimal fraction of Shri Krishna's Jeev Shakti. So this is why Shri Krishna says, Mamaivansho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Gita. The souls are my eternal ansh. So now you know the answer to what does he mean by ansh? We are not a direct part of him, swanch, otherwise we would also be a form of God. And we're not ansh of Maya, So when he's saying we're his ansh, we're his vibhinnansh. We're an indirect part of him because we're a part of his power, Jeev Shakti. Now we have some at least theoretical understanding of who am I. I'm a soul. And a soul, being ansh of Shri Krishna, desires Shri Krishna. It is the nature of every ansh to desire their anshi. Just like a diya burns up because it is ansh of the sun. We are ansh of Shri Krishna, albeit an indirect ansh, vibhinnansh. But nonetheless, we are his ansh. Therefore, we desire him. And desiring him means we want to know him. There's a pull from our soul, a natural pull to want to meet him, to want to experience his love, and above all, to want to serve him. So this is why Mahaprabhu ji said, Jivera swarupa hoy Krishnera nitya das. Just saying we are his ansh is the first step. But because we are his ansh, we are his das. We are his servant. Not an enforced servitude, a natural servitude. This is only what the soul wants. A leaf is serving the tree, is it not? Catching sunlight, creating sugars to feed the tree. The leaf is doing seva. The leaf is the das of the tree. But is it an enforced servitude? Is it a servitude which was decided one day and enforced on that leaf? No, since the leaf has existed, it's been a part of the tree. It's ansh of the tree, so it naturally serves the tree. That's its identity. Similarly, we are the eternal servants of Shri Krishna. That's the only thing that can make us truly happy, is to be his servant. So this is Mahaprabhuji's answer to who am I? When Sanatan Goswami asked, this is how he answered. Now his second question is related to the first. If I am ansh of Supreme God, then why am I suffering in this world? I am ansh of Anand. I am ansh of Satchit Anand, and yet I'm suffering Jare Tapatraya. I'm being burned by three types of, we call Tritap. Tap means something that burns you. Three types of suffering. Adhyatmik, that means mental and physical suffering. Adhibhautik, the suffering that we get from other living beings. Could be human beings, somebody hits you, could be any other animal, a dog bites you, a scorpion stings you, could be a sthavar jangam, could be a non-moving plant like a rose bush, you get a thorn in your hand. So the suffering we get from other living beings is called adhibhautik tap. And then there's a third kind, adhidaivik. Adhidaivik is like it's too cold, whatever the environment gives us, suffering the environment gives us. It's too cold, it's too hot, it's too wet, it's too dry, the wind is blowing too much, there's a hurricane, there's a tornado, earthquake, volcano. All of this is adhidaivik suffering, adhidaivik tap. So Sanatan Goswami wants to know, I'm suffering since eternity, being tormented by these three types of tap. Why? I'm ansh of Supreme God who is perfect, perfect happiness, perfect knowledge, perfect life in his divine abode. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagni Shvetashvataropanishad. No Mayic thing can reach over there in his divine abode, not the sun, not the moon, not the stars, not our fire, not our electricity. This is a pure, perfect divine world. And I'm a part of him, so why am I suffering since eternity in this world? Bereft of true happiness, bereft of his knowledge, wandering like an orphan in this world. How is it possible? So Mahaprabhu ji answered, Krishna bhuli sei jiva anadi bahirmukha ataeva maya tare deya sansar dukh kabhi swarge uthaye kabhi narake dubaye. Says the cause of all of that suffering is because we have forgotten Shri Krishna, we are turned away from him. Krishna bhuli, we have forgotten him. And anadi bahirmukh, we are turned away from him since eternity. This, all these bodies we have, the physical body, subtle body, that is like a tool, like a vehicle at our disposal. Think of it as a vehicle like a chariot. Atma nagvam rathinam vidhi ityadi, Ved says. God gave you a chariot so that you can go towards him. And instead you're going the other way. You've forgotten him and you're running after Maya. So when did you take this wrong turn? When did you forget Shri Krishna and become turned away from him and only turn towards the world? Mahaprabhu ji says, Anadi Bahirmukh. It never happened. Because Sada Pashyanti Surayah Tad Vishno Paramam Padam. Subala Upanishad says, if you ever meet Shri Krishna, that's forever. You can't fall from that divine state of being God realized. If you ever turn towards him, Jushtam yada pasyatyanyamishamasya mahimanamiti vita shokaha. Mundakopanishad says, souls are turned away from Shri Krishna, but if they turn towards him, they meet him that instant. Jushtam yada pashyati. The moment you turn and face him, you meet him face to face, and iti vita shokaha, all your suffering is finished forever. Forever. So it means if we are turned away from Shri Krishna today, we must have been turned away from him forever. Had we ever turned towards him, even once, we would have gotten God realized, free from all Mayic suffering. We would have experienced ultimate bliss, and that would have been a permanent state. Never to come under the influence of Maya again. But obviously that is not our current state. And if we are currently under Maya and turned away from Shri Krishna, it means that we have always been turned away from him. We've always been bahirmukh, vimukh. Because we are turned away from him, Maya has control over us. We're influenced by Maya, and Maya makes us forget our true identity as a soul. It makes us forget that we are a divine soul who is Ansh of Satchidananda Shri Krishna. And it makes us think, I am this body. Imagine, we just spend all this time learning, I am not the sthul sharir, I am not the sukshma sharir, I am not the karan sharir, I am the divine soul that is beyond all of that. And Maya makes us forget this knowledge, and it really makes us believe, I am this physical body. So when we have this belief that I am the physical body, then we because we're naturally seeking happiness, being a part of God who is himself happiness. But now we start looking in the wrong place. Now, if I am the body, I'm a Mayic being, so my happiness must be in the Mayic world. So by enjoying these Mayic things, I'll get my happiness. And from here, we drown in the world. We drown in worldly sorrows because there is no divine happiness in material enjoyments. So we're disappointed again and again by our life, by our situation, by our failure to find what our soul wants. And this is the source of all of our suffering, all of our unhappiness. We're looking for happiness in the wrong place. We're looking for it in the world. And then because we're seeking it in the world, we only think of the world. And whatever you think of again and again, you get attached to. And you're reborn according to your attachments. Plus, we did all the sattvic, rajas, tamas, karma, trying to find happiness in the world. So we have to be reborn to get the outcome of those karma. And here we go, going through 8.4 million species of existence, doing selfish actions, getting the results, creating more and more worldly attachment, thinking this is mine, they're mine, he is mine, she is mine, and getting more and more bound up in the world. So this is our eternal situation. Quite a mess we find ourselves in. And this is the answer to Sanatan Goswami's question, why am I suffering in this world? We are Ansh of Shri Krishna, but we are turned away from him. So we're not getting his effect, we're getting Maya's effect. See, this little piece of metal here is shiny, right? So it has an ansh of prakash. It has an ansh of light in it. But if we turn off all the lights in the prayer hall, can this light up the room? No, this will also be engulfed by darkness. We are like this. We're ansh of Satchit Anand, but without Bhagwan lighting us up. If we're not turned towards Shri Krishna, who is Mahaprakash, then our little ansh of prakash is not enough to drive away the darkness of Maya. Only Shri Krishna can do that. So, if we were to turn towards him, his grace would immediately eliminate the bondage of Maya, and all this problem is immediately solved. So we have to become sanmukh. We have to turn towards Shri Krishna. But because we're turned away from him, even though we are his ansh, we're under the control of Maya. And that is the source of all of our suffering, all of our problems. Unlimited problems, all traced back to one source. Bhagwan ki bahirmukhta. We are turned away from Bhagwan Shri Krishna. So we have to understand how to turn towards him. And this is what Sanatan Goswami asked with the third question. Ke mane hito hoy? How can I attain my ultimate goal? How can I rectify this situation, get away from my suffering, and meet my eternal divine beloved, Shri Krishna? So I'll explain this in detail tomorrow. Today, I'll just give a brief preview. Something I say every camp because it's something Maharaji always said to us. But here in this camp, starting now, starting this evening, and starting tomorrow, if we just keep these three things in mind, it will help us make devotional progress during this camp so that we find ourselves in a more elevated devotional state day by day as the camp is progressing. So that we're not just having a good time, but we're actually making progress on the path of bhakti. Just 3 things we have to do, and I'll expand on this in more detail tomorrow. But for now, just remember Shri Maharajji's words that number 1, we have to do Roop Dhyan. We have to meditate on the form of Radha, Krishna, and Guru. That means when we're sitting in the prayer hall here in the temple and we're doing kirtan, we have to practice Roop Dhyan. Then we get the real benefit of the kirtan. The kirtan itself is full of ras. Radha, Krishna are sitting in their name, but we don't really start experiencing that until we make the effort to do Roop Dhyan. It takes effort. We have to decide to do it. And not just the act of Roop Dhyan, but we should really try to feel something. Maharajji says, Aansu bahao. We should feel something, or if we don't feel something, we should know that we should be feeling something. I mean, you can't generate something out of nothing, right? If the feeling's not there, it's not there. It's okay. But you try. You do Roop Dhyan and you try to feel. Krishna is mine. Radha is mine. Maharajji is with me. Try to feel it. With Guru's grace, because we're following his instructions, we'll start to experience something. We don't experience because of our effort. We experience because of Guru's grace. But to get his grace, we have to make the effort. We have to apply ourselves in following Guru's instructions, which is do Roop Dhyan. That's number 1. Number 2, remember God and Guru are with us throughout the rest of the day. When we're sitting in the hall, we're doing Roop Dhyan. That's the whole focus. But when we leave the hall for any reason, or when there's a break in the schedule, then also this is number 2 practice we have to do. Just feel. We're not doing Roop Dhyan, right? Because we're walking. We're doing some task, maybe doing some seva, or we're eating, or we're bathing. So we're not really doing Roop Dhyan at that time, but we can have a general feeling that I'm not alone. God and Guru are with me. Practicing that general awareness that he's with me at all times. That's number 2. That's as important as the practice of Roop Dhyan, and both complement each other. The practice of Roop Dhyan will make your chalte phirte smaran much easier, and doing that remembrance of God and Guru while you're not sitting in the prayer hall will help you not to lose what you gained while you were sitting in the prayer hall by unnecessarily talking or thinking about the world. And number 3 is seva. Don't just be a participant in the camp, be a contributor. Don't just be a visitor to Radha Madhav Dham, be a satsangi of Shri Maharajji's. A satsangi wants to contribute. This is my Guru's ashram. That means it's my house. That's what we should feel. Guru is my father, so this is my house. And accordingly, we try to contribute while we're here. We do the seva with the humbleness and the gratitude, just that I got any chance to do some seva. We should be hungry for seva. It's never enough. We want to do more and more. So these 3 things you can keep in mind: doing Roop Dhyan, remembering God and Guru throughout the entire day as much as possible, and trying to contribute, feeling that you are a satsangi of Shri Maharajji and you want to contribute something here in his ashram, that this is your home. So doing seva, this is the 3rd thing. Keep these 3 things in mind and you will be able to gain a lot from this camp. We'll continue this topic tomorrow, where I'll go into more detail on how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji answered the question that what should we do to attain our ultimate goal and become sanmukh to Shri Krishna. So now let us finish with a few minutes of Nam Sankirtan. Radhe 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 Radhe
Radhe
Shrimat Sadguru Sarkar ki, Shama Shyam ki. On a personal note, I am available for anyone who wants to talk or who has questions, or if you just want to meet, you don't have to have a formal question. Of course, we'll all be quite busy during the camp, myself included, but I try to be at least 2 meals a day, somewhere here and there. If you see me sitting